Hi, this is Austin. This is Programming for Industry 4.0. This is Lab 5 Hardware, the button input lab. Okay, for this lab, we're going to be doing an old arcade style high score entry. It's going to be 3 digits and going to be able to enter A through Z. And we're also going to utilize 2 push buttons only, no joystick. And this is the physical circuit, just a metro and 2 buttons. We have a red button on the right and a blue button on the left. All right, so this is the code over here. Starting from the top, we have the usual import time, board, digital IOs for the buttons, a debouncer library for the buttons as well to help with debouncing. And this is our alphabet list right here, line number 7. We got A through Z in capital letters. Lines 9 through 13 is for the red button attached to pin number 3. And lines 15 through 19 is for the blue button attached to pin 2. This is a function over here. We'll come back to that in a second. First, we're going to go over some of our counters and our global variables. So strt, kind of like the word start, equals 0. This is going to be the main counter that we use to traverse this list up here, alphabet string. So we'll traverse through the list up and down, A, B, C, D. We can work our way through the list over there. Next, we have running equals false. This is mainly a boolean to keep track of the next letter mode. So when we hold down the blue button and then press the red button, that will switch the current letter digit to the next one. The next boolean is complete equals false. That's for the final letters over there when all 3 are entered. So line 38 over here, current dig, as in current digit, it's a blank list. It's created to stuff whatever letter the user is currently on. And lines 41 is the final digits, or final dig, another blank list. This is to store when 3 letters have been reached, and it displays back to the user. Okay, finally we have our main loop over here, starting at 44. And it's basically just an if statement with 3 elif statements attached to it. So we're going to jump down to 64, elif but B. But B stands for the blue button blue. So this is for the blue button. At line 74, but R for button red. That's for the red button. Okay, so now we're going back up to the if statement on line 51. This section over here is mainly just to enter in whatever letter the user has selected currently. Once the user enters the letter, the selection goes to the next digit. And in the real world, this is accomplished by holding down the blue button and pressing the red button once. And then finally, we have line 86 over here. This is the final elif statement, and we have our function over here, pal final dig. So this is the finished letter mode. This triggers the function when 3 letters are finally entered in the list, final dig. And when it jumps into function, scroll up here to line 23. This is the function over here. You can see this print line over here stuffs the 3 letters in and prints it back. Okay, so first we're going to press the red button, which is going to be lines 74 through 83. And in it, we use current dig and set that to equal the alphabet string. Remember, the alphabet string is up here. It's our main alphabet list over here. And in there, we use the strt to add 1, and that makes it go up the list, increments by 1. So if you start at A, you should go over to B, B to C and whatnot. And we're going to open up the serial monitor. So let's go press the red button. And as we can see, it jumps to B. Again, C, D, E, F, G. And one more thing too about the red button, you may notice this if STRT is greater than 24. That's mainly just to loop it back when the list reaches Z. It loops it back to A without the list erroring out. Alright, so next we're going to do the blue button over here. It's the same format as the red one, except it subtracts one over here using STRT. So serial monitor again, we're pressing the blue button. We're at G right now, and it goes down. You can even go back towards Z if you want. All right, so now we are going to actually enter letters as a digit. So let us scroll back to A. So we're on A right now, and we want to enter that as a digit. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold the blue button and then press the red button down. It is a little bit wonky though, because watch when I hold the blue button, it goes down. And then when I press the red button, I'm going to press and hold the red button actually. It goes back up. And then when I release both buttons, it enters the letter. All right, so going back to the code just for that little sequence where we entered the A, we can check over here at line 51. So the conditions are that the blue button has to have been released and running is equal to true. So running is set to true only when the red button is pressed down here at line 83 and released. And then up here, we have on line 54, final dig, we use the insert to insert the digit in the far right of the bracket. You can't see it yet because we haven't entered enough letters, but it enters it as the third digit from the left. The next two lines down here, 58 and 59, this just resets it so the next letter starts back at A, true to the some of the old arcade styles, and it resets STRT back to 0 to start at A. Finally, line 60 prints final dig only up to the third digit because we don't want any more than 3 letters to be printed. And then over here, running equals false. So running is false again. If you remember running up here, we had it set so it was checking if it's true. Running does get set to true, again, as mentioned before, down on line 83. So this just resets the whole state again right here. Okay, so currently we have A in there. So let's go to K. My middle initial. We'll press the red button over here. Alright, we're at K right now. So we're going to hold blue, press the red, release. There's the K. And then we're going to scroll up to T and enter that. And that's 3 letters right there. And then it prints down here, high score, AKT. So let's go into the code. When we enter 3 letters into the sequence over here, this high score, then line 86 over here triggers the elif. So it checks if there's 3 digits inside the final digit list. And if that's true, goes to the pal function. Scrolling back up to the pal function, it starts at line number 23. And this one tests if complete is equal to false, which when we initially start the code, complete right here on line 35 is equal to false. Then print out the initials, which is what you see in the serial monitor right here. And then after that, we finish a function. We jump back out, back to line number 88, and then it resets. It turns complete equal to true to toggle the state. Let's go to some limitations of this code. So we already ran it, it's completed once. However, due to line 60 over here, every time we enter a new letter, it's going to insert on the third slot right over here. So we already have 3 letters. The T is taking up the third slot. If we try to enter, let's say A again, the A shifts all the way to the third slot again, right here. So you can't really go back and change these other 2 slots over here. Let's do it again. Let's go to H. Enter H, and the H pops up in the third slot. As you can see, this can be a severe limitation if you're trying to go for a program that allows you to go back and edit each one. Another limitation of this program is that it may confuse the user. So when you're entering letters in, say for example, let's enter G in, you have to hold the blue button, which makes it go up to F, and then pressing the red button, which makes it go back down at G, and then you can enter the letter like that. So just going up and down like this over here, it may confuse some users who may interpret that as it did not enter properly, which may cause them to make mistakes. And since you can't go back and delete the first and second slots over here, it's a bit difficult to call this code fully functional. It's probably not the most user-friendly code.